Hi guys, here we are to start a new unit. So let's open up our table of contents and go ahead, and we've already taken our test on Unit 2 Part 1. So I'm going to start right here, and we'll just kind of leave a space there, and I'm going to put Unit 3, which is going to be about ratios and rates and measurement. So we're going to start with 3A here, and our first set of notes is going to be on ratios, rates, and unit rates. So go ahead and update your table of contents there. And for me, that's going to be 31. I'm going to add a little bit of color coding here just to give myself a visual. So we finished up Unit 2. That was my Unit 2. And we are getting started now on Unit 3. And so here's where my Unit 3 is going to begin. Just to kind of delineate things for myself so I can see the differences. All right, so the notes that you have today say rates and unit rates. We're going to fold those in half like this, and let's go ahead and start taking some of our notes. So a ratio is simply a comparison of two quantities by division. So it compares two quantities, or quantities is another name for numbers or amounts, right? By divisions. That's going to look like a fraction in some cases. There are three ways that we can write these ratios. We can write the two numbers with a colon between them. Remember that a colon looks like that. We can write the two numbers with the word 2 between them. Or we can write them as a fraction. Remember, these are comparisons. We're comparing things. So here's an example. We've got some shapes over here. We've got circles, and we've got squares, and we've got triangles. And we're going to compare one set to another. So for our first problem here, we're going to compare the circles to the triangles. So I'm just going to count how many circles I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And because the word circles comes first, then I'm going to put the 5 first. And then I'm going to compare that to triangles. So I'll use my colon first of all. And so we decided we had 5 circles, and let's count our triangles. 1, 2, 3. We've got a 5 to 3 comparison. So that's one way to write it, as 5 colon 3. And then we could write it 5to, the word 2, 3. Or we could write it as a fraction, 5 over 3. Our next one asks us to do triangles to circles then, so we're going to switch that around a little bit, and this time we have to do our triangles first. Well, we know already that we've got 3 triangles, and we know already that we've got 5 circles. So you can see that it's important that you write the numbers in the order that the words are in. And then over here then, whoops, I didn't do my 3 first, 3, 2, 5, and then 3 to 5. So even though those numbers are the same, the orders are different just because the words excuse me, were written in a different order. All right, let's do triangles to squares then. So we know we've got 3 triangles, and we've got how many squares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for this one I'm going to write it as a fraction first, and you'll see why. So I've got 3 over 6. Well, whenever we make our ratios, we want them in lowest terms. And so 3 to 6, we know if we reduce that to lowest terms, we would divide both of these by 3. And we know that then we would get 1 over 2. So our comparison of triangles to squares would be written as 1 to 2, not 3 to 6. Again, we reduce that to lowest terms. So if we wrote that with the colon, 1 to 2, and then with our word 1 to 2. All right, now another thing that we can do is we can write the number of squares to all of the shapes. So we want to count all of the shapes, all right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 14 shapes altogether. And we want the number of just squares to all of the shapes. So we know that all the shapes, they're 14. And we know that that word came second, so that will be the bottom of our fraction if we write this as a fraction. And then how many squares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 squares. Well, you'll notice that both of those are even numbers, which means, of course, that they can be reduced. So we can divide both of these by 2. And we can see that then this is 3 to 7. So that's a 3 to 7 ratio. Another way to write it then, of course, is 3 colon 7, and then 3 and the word TO and 7. Now, there are some special kinds of ratios, and that's where we compare two different quantities that have different units. So you use these in everyday life. You might think about how fast your car is going in miles per hour. We're comparing miles and hours. They're two different things. Or you might think about how many words you can type per minute on your computer. So we're comparing the number of words we're typing to the number of minutes. All right. So a rate is a special ratio. It's a type of ratio that compares two different quantities. That have different units. And I'll just put MPH here for miles per hour as an example. Everything that we can do with our ratios, we can also do with our rates. Now, a special kind of rate is a unit rate, and it's really the one that is most commonly used. Really, there's not a whole lot of use for rates by themselves, but unit rates are really important, and we use those all the time. And a unit rate then is a rate with a denominator of 1. So here we've got a semi-truck, and it travels 585 miles in 9 hours. So if we wrote that 585 miles in 9 hours, and we want to convert that to a unit rate, this is a rate right here because we're comparing miles and hours, we're going to take the top number and divide it by the bottom number, so that because we always want in a unit rate, we always want the bottom number to be 1. So we're going to divide both the top and the bottom by 9. And so of course what happens is our bottom becomes 1. We're going to be talking about 1 hour. And if we take 585 and divide that by 9, we're going to find out that that would come out to 65 miles per hour. So the rate that the truck is moving is 65 miles per hour. Now we don't usually write it like this. You usually see those kinds of rates written like this. And that just stands for miles per hour. Okay, Shirley earns $154 in 14 hours, and we want to know how much she earns in 1 hour. So we're going to take our $154 and she earns that in 14 hours. So we want to know how much she earns in 1 hour. So we're going to divide both of these by 14. Really, it just essentially is we're dividing the top number by the bottom number so that the bottom number becomes 1. So divided by 14 here. And of course 14 divided by 14 is 1, so that's 1 hour. And if we take 154 and divide it by 11, we would come up with, divide it by 14, we would come up with $11. So she makes $11 per hour, is usually how you would see that written. All right, Cedric pays $27.24 for 12 gallons of gas. We want to know what he pays for 1 gallon of gas. So we're going to take our $27.24, and that's how much money he paid. And he got 12 gallons of gas for that. So again, we're going to divide the top number by the bottom number so that we get a unit rate. So we're going to find out what it is for 1 gallon. And if we take $27.24 and divide it by 12, we're going to find out that we get $2.27. And so Cedric is paying $2.27 per gallon. So $2.27 per gallon. That word per usually means to divide. All right, now you're going to stop this video, and I want you to try these that are in the middle. As you open your notes here, try those on your own, and then I'll have a second video for you so that you can see how you did on those. But make sure you try them on your own first.